A Baltimore businessman pleads guilty to paying more than $42,000 in bribes to former delegate Cheryl Glenn. WJZ is live outside the federal courthouse right now. Rachel Menitoff explains the case around Lance Lucas. Rachel?
Denise, good evening. Lance Lucas allegedly paid Glenn a total of $42,500 in exchange for legislation that would give his businesses an advantage. This plea agreement indicates that Lance Andre Lucas met the veteran Baltimore City delegate in May 2018 at a lunch meeting in Baltimore. Federal prosecutors say that's where this story starts. Over the course of a year, Lucas admitted to paying Glenn more than $42,000. In exchange, Glenn was to introduce legislation to boost Lucas's business ventures, including a provision in one bill to contract out to his cybersecurity program. Lucas was also working with two companies engaged in distributing and growing medical marijuana, and bribed Glenn to gain final approval for a medical marijuana dispensary license and a growing license. The plea agreement says that Lucas wrote checks out directly to Glenn, reassuring her that they wouldn't be caught, saying, quote, "I'm from Baltimore, for real Baltimore. This is the least illegal thing I've ever done. This is like patty cake compared to the expletive in Baltimore City."
When public officials are accepting bribes, there are people who are extending bribes or offering bribes. So our view is, of course, we're concerned with both sides of the transaction.
This was part of a greater investigation into public corruption that brought down longtime Baltimore City delegate Cheryl Glenn. In December 2019, Glenn abruptly resigned from her post in the State House and pleaded guilty in January to taking bribes. U.S. Attorney Robert Hur saying her alleged crimes of wire fraud and bribery, quote, betrayed the public trust. Lucas faces a maximum of 25 years in federal prison for wire fraud and other related charges. The U.S. Attorney said today that it cannot release whether anyone else will be charged in connection to these crimes. We're live outside the federal courthouse. I'm Rachel Menitoff for WJZ.